See, they got us already. Got a strange suspicion. Calling her crazy. I can't be sitting up this high, man. When she said stay for dinner, I should have known that I'd be staying for lunch. Damn the call. Suddenly we're drunk in Vegas. And then I'm laying down in a parking lot saying, where did the girl go? She doesn't speak the language. She likes to smile a lot. When I stop to consider all the things that I have and haven't got, I said, fuck the cost. That's how the West got off. This is one of our bigger tunes in Italy.
Big in Italy.
A lot of the film was shot. We are big in Italy.
Hey, how did the Hawk swing go?
That's it. Okay, whenever you want to start asking us questions, this is just for us. You send the tape over to Robert's office. Robert used to play piano for money in what was then called Cafe Society. He used to play at clubs on the West Side, and there's a club called Green Street that I'm not sure if it's still there or not. Big club, and he had a band called the Ivory Coast, and some friends of mine, some mutual friends, of ours, took me down there one night. It's something that you're not supposed to do for you young kids out there. Don't do this. If your friend is on stage in front of about 5,000 people, even if you have a harmonica, don't take it out and start playing along with the band. But Robert was gracious enough to call me up on stage, and I sat in with him and Ross.
Right. Levinson. And I think we played it.
And then we became friends that night.
Yeah.
And we're still friends today.
Yeah.
So that was like, I think 79, 70.
Yeah.
80, something like that.
About 100 years ago.
Yeah. And did you guys bond because you liked the same kind of music? And
same kind of girls.
And the same kind of bars.
Same kind of bars. Wilby's.
Oh, Wilby's. 88th and Broadway. They used to make an orange blossom up there where Mr. Wilby himself, one of the three Wilby brothers, I think this was Abe Wilby. Abe would personally squeeze the orange for you right in front of you to make the orange blossom. And then he had a magic thing he did with a boot and some homemade gin. And he put that together.
Yeah, actually, he still had the little sliding hole from the...
It was the boot that actually gave it the flavor. But Wilby's was good. Dublin House. So we spent time together in New York.
Doing research on bars, really.
Research.
We didn't do a
And
whole lot of
bartenders.
drinking in those days.
Bruce was actually working in one of them, and
Just 10
was
of
generous enough occasionally to, and I hope the bar owners, 25 years later, don't mind learning this. He occasionally would slide me a free brunch at the end of the bar, which I appreciated in those days. Brunch being desirable, and free
Brunch is
being more
good.
desirable.
Brunch. You know, brunch is a bygone thing. They don't have brunch anymore. Not that this has anything to do with the movie.
Robert,
Nothing.
What did you think that night when he pulled his harmonica out and he started playing?
I said either
Bouncer?
this guy's got to go or play. There's no standing in the audience. And I thought if I said that he would go. I thought I would scare him off, but he instead got on stage. And that was the beginning.
Hard to scare me off in those days.
That was it. I mean, I said, hey, you know, I remember shielding my eyes and trying to, it was such an odd sound to have.
Yeah.
Is that a harmonica in the audience? No, it couldn't be.
And it was in the right key, too.
Somebody actually playing along with the band.
Swinging.
And
The swinging band.
and yeah, I think it was a Saturday night, and I think we finally actually parted ways Wednesday morning because we had a lot of research to do. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
There was a song before it was a story
Right.
that we used to just kind of scat around. We used to just be
Actually,
walking.
and
You had to have a good song to walk down the street in New York.
Exactly right. And
And
one
that-
of the things that had occurred to me, and Bruce probably heard it an hour after the original idea. I mean, it was that fresh. I remember when it first occurred. I've been reading about Coleman Hawkins. Coleman Hawkins was known as the Hawk, and in the same period of reading, I also had been reading about Chicago, and the wind that blows off the lake in Chicago is also called the Hawk. And for some reason, all this was stewing in my fevered imagination. And I was walking west on 86th Street from Central Park, and one of those incredible winds came off the Hudson River. One of those winds that was so powerful that you could actually have fun leaning forward and seeing if it would hold you up. It was that kind of strong, might have been a zephyr or a mistral, I'm not sure which. But you would feel that incredible wind. And I had this idea that if it's the Hawk in Chicago and Coleman Hawk, somehow I thought maybe this wind is the Hudson Hawk. And I was walking along thinking, boom, ding, 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 ba-dum, dum, ding, ding, dum, ba-dum, dum, dum. I had this sort of bass line. I probably was walking to Bruce's or he was coming to my house or something, because I remember about an hour later, I sort of played it for him, and suddenly we started to work towards this kind of just a thing. I don't know if it was going to be a song or a bass line, whatever, but somewhere in that period, Bruce had the idea of there was a character, there was maybe a story, and he said at one point, either that afternoon or many weeks later or something, someday I'm going to make a movie called The Hudson Hawk. And I thought, yeah, sure. I mean, we're both, you know, you're working in a bar, I'm trying to get a record deal, and you're already making this movie. P.S.
Here we are.
And that's where it all came from.
And back when you could, in those days, because you didn't have to live up to anything except your word, you could just say anything like that. I mean, you could put, you know, characters' names in there, and the most fun thing was coming up with like the fun character's name. And somewhere in there, I don't know where it came from, but it was actually one of my favorite character names in any movie was Tommy Five Tone, because I just didn't know, I had no idea what it meant. It disturbed me. And
It'll upset you.
it'll upset you.